Hello, people of Lost Woods Draft League and anyone else who might be watching. I'm Jake, Jack of Spadesman, coach of the Boston Blackjacks, and we are up into week 2, up against Liam or Doxy, Undead Paradox, heading the Northern Noiverns. At a glance, let's take a look at the teams. So my team, unfortunately, is no different than last week. I'll cover the changes I made next week because they only apply next week because I was late. I believe Liam also made a change to their team, exchanging Galarian Slowking for Cantonian Slowking, which would have changed this matchup quite significantly, honestly. Um, so thankful that they were also late with their pick. Um, so this is their team. That's at a glance. First thing I noticed, uh, obviously there's the spam mode of it. There's the unburden mode of it, as well as the special defense boosting in Sneasler, as well as taunt. There's a big trick room mode with 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5 and 6, possibly 7. As well as a faster mode with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, very kind of scary options here in terms of the speeds. I'll show the type chart real quick, even though it doesn't really... I don't really look at this too much, because everything can change on a whim because of Terra and such. I mean, I think about it. I don't really look at it. So, what do I think in this matchup? First of all, Metagross is a really strong, defined pick here. The only thing that really beats it is Chandelure. Otherwise, it has really great special defense with Assault Vest. Resists like everything that this team wants to do and can get 1-hit or 2-hit knockouts on just about everything. So Metagross is going to be a really key piece here. The other thing is that if Trick Room goes up, I can actually reverse sweep it with Rhydon. Rhydon goes pretty uncontested in this game, assuming Trick Room goes up. If there's no Trick Room, I could lean on Rhydon, but the fact that it's not going to go first is tough, right? Next is obviously Incineroar, just really good again. Walls out those Psychic types, can Snarl to deal with the special attacks. Fire typing is going to blow away these two and this one, like, really strong pick. So from there, it was a bit more ambiguous what I should bring. Definitely not going to bring Oricorio. Definitely not going to bring Chestnut. Considered Gengar. But these ones, Volcarona, Rillaboom, Clefable, Blastoise, and Kommo were the other contenders, while these three were, like, definitely locked in. So, what did I decide to bring? Well, at first I went with a Kommo Clangorous Soul setup with Terra Steel. Originally, I think I was actually running Bulletproof, because of Chandelure. I don't know why this is soundproof in here. It should be bulletproof. Let's just make it bulletproof. Maybe I was bulletproof for something, but I don't think anything on this team is sounding me. Cut that. Using sound moves against me, barring Roar, but I really didn't see it. So I wanted to go with this setup. Nothing. The only thing that resists Dragon is Magnezone and Enamorus, which my team can handle with other options, primarily this guy here, Rhydon, and Metagross. So I was going to go down that road, with Terra Steel being very, very good into just about everything except, like, maybe Chandelure and definitely this little weasel. So I had Rhydon on there with Rock Slide's high horsepower Stone Edge. Stone Edge was to get a 1-hit KO onto Enamorus. Clefable with the same set I brought last week, but this time it's Covert Cloak instead of Mental Herb, because I don't want to deal with Dire Claw from Sneasler, And I also can't get faked out if there is a cheeky fake out and no Indeedee on the field. I do have to worry about taunt from a good amount of things on this team, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember everything that learns taunt, and I should probably know that before the match. So let's find out. Taunt. Sneasler. Okay, all these. Yeah, everything I expected. If you asked me, I probably would have got it right, except for Chandelure and maybe Slowking. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought anything else on this team gets taunt. So, that's that. I went with Moonblast as just, does generally good neutral damage, as well as hits Crawdaunt, which is a very strong Pokemon. Next is Metagross, with Heavy Slam, Stomping Tantrum, Psychic Fangs, Brick Break. Oh, I should go over the Terra types. Terra Water makes it so that I don't, the only thing that's going to hit me with Grass is Abomasnow and Tropius, and my Fire types are way too strong for them to bring into me, in my opinion. If they do bring them, I'll have an easy time. So Terra Water is definitely the right pick here. Yes, this can get Energy Ball. I don't think anything else gets Grass moves, though. So Terra Water was the choice in that one to resist just about everything I needed to. Clefable was Terra Ghost. Not to not get faked out, it has Covert Cloak, but to take no damage from Sneasler, because this is a Pokemon that is going to be a thorn in my side and something that I'm going to have to redirect all game to avoid Dire Claw hacks. However, Throat Chop was a worry, but Ghost was what I had here. Metagross was Terra Dark, because it resists Dark moves and Ghost moves, which are the two big things on their team that are dealing with me. Not to mention, I don't want to Terra into something that's weak to Psychic, because otherwise I'm going to get blown up by these. I also threaten the Fairy type on their team very hard, so I don't really have to worry about going Dark, right? Brick Break was originally to break screens and hit this little Sand Slash, as well as a possible Crawdaunt. Incineroar, Flare Blitz, Fake Out, U-Turn, Snarl, with Terra Ghost and Citrus Berry. Pretty much the same as last week, but I opted for U-Turn this week, because I don't want to run into Clear Amulet on something like Sneasler and get my day ruined. Also, it will allow me to get around Taunt, and it will let me chip down Indeedee, which is really big. So it will automatically let me pivot, whereas Parting Shot has a chance to not let me pivot. And lastly was Rillaboom with Woodhammer, U-Turn, High Horsepower, Grassy Glide. Yeah, I didn't bring Fake Out on Rillaboom in this set. And I also brought Life Orb, which is not a common pick, because after Grassy Terrain, Life Orb only does 4% to you, and I needed my other moves boosted, not just my Grass moves, to score some good, clean damage. Overall, Rillaboom was essentially going to be to disrupt terrain and just do heavy damage. If I wanted it to be a Fake Out user, I would have had to, go minimum speed here and risk still speed tying Indeedee at minimum speed, and, forcing my terrain. It just wasn't worth my time. So the Fake Out user is still going to be Incineroar with Rillaboom. Then I was talking to some people that helped me, and they helped me realize that Volcarona might be better for this one than Como. Como, I have to sacrifice 33% of my HP to set up, and even then, after clanging scales and such, I'm not getting those big boosts, or, yeah, I mean, I'm at +1. It's harder to set up continuously. Volcarona, on the other hand, is able to set up very continuously by just clicking Quiver Dance. As long as you're not taking physical damage, Quiver Dance can keep going up. I can just max out my bulk here, and that's what I decided to do. Rhydon, I switched to Swords Dance instead of Stone Edge because A, I don't want to play with Stone Edge accuracy, B, Rock Slide after a Swords Dance accomplishes the same thing as Stone Edge, and also lets me do way more damage with high horsepower later. Clefable, I switched to a Poison type, so I didn't have to deal with Throat Chop like I mentioned earlier. Metagross, I switched from Brick Break to Knockoff. I realized that Sand Slash probably isn't going to come, and Psychic Fangs is already breaking screens if they go up from Abomasnow, so I don't need that. But Knockoff, on the other hand, would be really good. I can Terra Dark Knockoff and possibly one-hit KO Indeedee, one-hit KO Chandelure, one-hit KO Slowking. Like, that's going to be a powerful attack. Incineroar did not change, and Rillaboom did not change on these. I don't think I changed the spreads here. If I did, oops. Yeah, Rhydon was very offensive, decently, very specially bulky for Rhydon, not very HP heavy. Hit a leftovers number. I'm not going to go over all the EVs. I don't need to right now. So here we have only a 2.1, no 3.0 this week. So this is the perfectly refined spreads. So Volcarona, you can see, is the same. Maxed out HP, because 192 is a divisible by 16 number for leftovers and grassy terrain. 116 defense is just what I had remaining. 100 speed outspeeds modest max speed Chandelure. 36 special attack is where I hit the jump number, and it's also even for Quiver Dance boosts, and special defense 4 for Quiver Dance boosts. Yes, I know the speed is odd, but because of just how draft works, I don't care about being optimal in that department, as long as I'm outspeeding what I want to. Rhydon, I refined down to way more HP. 208 is another one of those divisible by 16 numbers. It's 119 plus 16. So I get a better leftovers number, or not a leftovers number, better grassy terrain number. Way more overall bulk. Yes, I dropped quite a bit of special defense for more survivability in the other departments, and took off some of my attack stat. I did some calcs on Rhydon and realized that I didn't need to max out my attack stat. Like, it would be nice for one-shotting Indeedee most of the time, but I'd honestly rather the survivability on this thing. The thing I was mostly worried about was against Enamorous Therian form, if they decide to run 252 HP for defense. I was looking at 156, and I was like, you know what, let me just clean that up in case they run a little bit more. I don't think anything else was really important there. Chandelure, yeah, like KOing. Noiver, I'm pretty sure I KO. Like, oh, it was precisely Slowking Galar. High horsepower, 252 here. Maybe I don't know what it was for, but it lets me have more leeway on getting the KO where I need it. It's possible that maybe I just did this where, yeah, Earth Power is what I survive. The rest goes into attack. I might as well just max that out. No reason to go elsewhere. Next is Clefable with a, I believe I hit the special defense jump number. And then with Sneasler, let's say it's adamant, which it almost definitely will be. I can survive a single Dire Claw if I do not Terra. Although if that's Gunk Shot, I gotta pray. If it's a boosting item, I gotta pray. But if it's a boosting item, that means it's not one of Psychic Seed, Clear Amulet, Focus Sash, and that means I should have an easier time dealing with it. Next is Metagross. I didn't change the spread on this. Honestly, I didn't look into it. I want... Its lowest stat is its HP. I need all of it that I can. I need to even out the special defense. I don't need speed for anything. There's nothing that speed ties me, and then there's nothing I really want to go to outspeed. So yeah, Heavy Slam gets the KOs, Stomping Tantrum, Psychic Fangs, Knockoff, they all get the KOs I want. I think. If not, okay. But that's where I landed on Metagross. Incineroar, I don't believe I refined at all either. But let's go over what that does. Incineroar versus Sneasler. You know. Definitely did something. Maybe like Life Orb? No. Maybe, Crawdon. Crawdon. Liquidation. 252. Adamant. Adaptability. Life Orb. You know? I'm not sure. I'm sure it was for something. Maybe it was a special defense calc? I should be reminding I shouldn't have to remember this. And by I shouldn't have to remember this, I mean I should remember this. What the hell? This isn't last week's spread, is it? No. I'm sure it's for something, and this will come in handy exactly when I need it. Guys, what the hell? Guys, what was I doing? Guys, was it like Chandelier, Tarot Water, Terra Blast or something? Guys, I have no idea. Guys, I don't... Guys, I have no... Guy, okay. No. Adamant. Close combat. Clear amulet. Life orb. What the hell was I doing with this? A Sand Slash? Was it a Alolan Sand Slash? With Drill Run? No, not Drill Peck. Drill Run. Clear Amulet, Adamant. That does nothing. What? I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe it was something to do with Citrus Ray. I don't know. I don't need to know anymore. I've decided. Lastly, Rillaboom. This was originally 212, which was the remainder attack I got from getting my HP all the way up to 199, which minimizes Life Orb recoil. But then I ran some numbers on things I can KO with 252 Rillaboom. Let's take a look, shall we? 252 lets me nearly always one-hit KO Indeedee if I'm in terrain. Always one-shot Magnezone with high horsepower. Like, these calcs are disgusting. Like, Chandelier, if it's just max HP, high horsepower, almost always KOs. What about Sneasler? Just dunks it. Let me pull up a list of calcs I saw. Oh yeah, one shots Indeedee and Chandelier and Crawdon, and deals decently into Galarian Slowking. One shots Gliscor if it's no bulk. Like, I should be good. So yeah, that's the team. Not gonna spoil the nicknames for this week. I am keeping all my nicknames the same throughout the season, so this is going to be Moth Tua, which I will explain is like a moth to a flame. I realized that Volcarona might be a pun based on that, and I was like, you know what, Moth Tua is actually stupid and funny. This is Pink Menace. That is a reference to Pink Pianta from Mario Baseball. Yep, there it is, Pink Menace. Next is Incineroar, which is just named Incineroar, like that. That's just an old Ing joke with me and my friends that we made back in like 2017. I don't even know. This is called Even Further. as a reference to the Super Saiyan 3 transformation. You know, Rillaboom looks a lot like Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Um, More like legendary Super Saiyan 3 Broly from games, but that's not real. Uh, so even further, which is a reference to Goku's dubbed voice when he goes Super Saiyan 3 in the anime. And last, you'll get to see what Rhydon and Metagross are, but you won't get to get the explanation until next week, maybe, if I use them again. That or I'll do it at the end of my gameplay. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm worried about Chandelure, and I'm worried about Sneasler. The rest of this team, I can sauce this. Gengar might have been a good bring, especially to like just click Psychic into this, Sludge Bomb into this, Shadow Ball into this. Like, ugh, probably would have been a good pick. But in all honesty, I didn't want to bring Gengar because in my head it's already off the team, and I had intended to not be using it this week already. So I'll handicap myself. I am kind of lamenting not using Komo because its defensive prowess would be really, really nice. Because, I mean, Volcarona just doesn't have that physical bulk, and spread dragon damage into this team would be really, really strong, as well as the Terra Steel type would be really nice. But I expect all my picks to carry their weight. It does depend a bit on what Liam wants to bring. If there's no Trick Room, you know, Rhydon's not going to be great. But otherwise, like, Volcarona should be able to set up decently well. Oh, I didn't even say it's Terra Water Volcarona, because I want to be able to hit Chandelure, especially. I consider Terra Rock and Terra Ground and Terra Ghost and Terra Dark, which are all the other things that can hit Chandelure super effectively. Terra Ground I didn't favor, because it's just not great defensively. Maybe Terra Ground would work. I wasn't feeling it. Oh, the reason I wasn't feeling it was because if this thing ever gets in Trick Room and has access to Aqua Jet out of terrain, like, I don't want to be hit super effectively by this thing clicking Aqua Jet into me. I would just die. Volcarona doesn't want to take that. So that's why I didn't opt for Rock or Ground. Rock also because this can hit me super effectively with a close combat. The reason I didn't choose Ghost is because of Indeedee. Strictly because of Indeedee. If I have my Ghost type move redirected into Indeedee, I'm not going to be doing any damage. And if these two are on the field together, I'm in a bad position where I want to click Terra Ghost Terra Blast and try to hit Chandelure and get a KO, but I could get redirected by Indeedee. Or I want to click Heat Wave, and I can't really do that into Chandelure now, can I? So just boost up Chandelure and make it even scarier for my team because it is terrifying for my team as is. The other option was Dark. Dark was a big consideration, notably because it can hit Indeedee, and it can hit Chandelure, but makes me weak to Sneasler. So I think Water's just the safest option for me because it's going to be neutral into everything. Again, like, if a grass move comes here, no, it doesn't. And if it does, okay. Worst thing that can happen would be this having Wood Hammer, honestly. If an electric move comes from this little fella, I do have Lightning Rod on Rhydon because its other abilities are genuinely useless. Reckless could be good for Supercell Slam. That's it. Really wish this thing had Solid Rock. So Lightning Rod, in my opinion, is really its only ability. And with Terra Water, you know, it's only going to have one weakness in Grass, and those likely aren't coming to the match, and if they do, I am going to be underspeeding them. I forgot to mention, I am running 9 speed IVs with a negative nature on Rhydon, and 9 IVs with a negative nature on Incineroar. This hits 62, this hits 44, reason being, I didn't know this was a thing, but, yeah, 44 goes just under Enamorous, and 62 goes just under Sandslash. I didn't want to deal with, like, speed tying Abomasnow or Magnezone or any of that, so I just went with where's the lowest I can go. Rhydon, I probably just could go minimum, Um, but like originally, I might have been thinking about speed control, like possibly running some icy wind on my team or something. So maybe it's a little nicer to go a little faster. But I might as well just go 44 and call it there. Like, I don't know. It's silly. Don't worry about it. It's probably not going to matter. So yeah, that's my prep for this week. Hopefully I can get another win. Hopefully I can play better this time and not have to get bailed out by a good amount of RNG. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Let's do this.